Have you ever looked in the mirror and wished you were someone else? Have you ever felt like who you are just isn't enough? You're not alone. But let me tell you something important. You were never created to fit in. You were created to stand out. And in this video, I'm going to show you why your authenticity is your superpower and why it's time to stop hiding who you are. Maybe you stare at your reflection, not just at your face, but deep into your own eyes and felt disappointed. Not because you've done something wrong, but because you've been told, either silently or loudly, that you're not enough, not pretty enough, not smart enough, not strong enough, not loud enough, or maybe too much of something else. We live in a world that constantly tries to shape us, to shrink us, to polish us into something that fits neatly into a box labeled acceptable, normal, likable. So it's not strange if you've ever looked in the mirror and thought, I wish I was more like them or less like me. But let me ask you something gently and sincerely. Who told you that who you are isn't enough? And more importantly, why did you believe them? Have you ever felt like who you are just isn't enough? Maybe you tried so hard to fit in, changing your style, the way you talk, the way you laugh, even the dreams you dare to chase, all because you feared rejection. Maybe you've silenced your own voice just to make others comfortable. Or maybe you've kept your light dim just to help others shine brighter. If any of this sounds like you, I want to tell you something, not as a motivator, not as a coach, but as someone who understands. You are not alone. You're not the only one who's battled with doubt, insecurity, or fear of being seen. And most importantly, you are not broken. You are becoming. Here's the truth that nobody told us growing up. You were never created to fit in. You were created to stand out. Let that sink in. You were not born to blend into background. You were not made to be a copy of someone else. You were handcrafted with care to be you. Your quirks, your voice, your experiences, your journey, they are not mistakes. They are the colors that make up your unique masterpiece. But here's what happens. Somewhere along the way, we start trading our uniqueness for acceptance. We wear masks. We hide our truth. We try to be enough for people who don't even know how to value realness. And that's when the shame creeps in. But let me say this with love. Your authenticity is your superpower. The real you, the unfiltered, honest, messy, growing, imperfect you is the most powerful version of yourself. Because when you stop pretending to be someone you're not, you free your mind, you heal your heart, you attract the right people, and most importantly, you feel peace. So, in this video, I'm not here to tell you to change or fix yourself. I'm here to walk with you, to remind you kindly that you are enough, that you are worthy of love, joy, belonging, and confidence exactly as you are. And if you've been hiding parts of yourself, if you've been shrinking, apologizing, or pretending just to survive, then maybe it's time to breathe again. Maybe it's time to stop hiding. Maybe it's time to come back to you, because the world doesn't need another copy. It needs you, the real you. So stay with me, and together, we'll explore how to reclaim your voice, celebrate your identity, and start living boldly without shame. Welcome to Brain Vital Channel. If you're new here, we're so glad you found us. This is your go-to spot for easy, powerful tips to grow stronger, smarter, and succeed in life. Tired of being pushed around? Want to feel unstoppable and in control? Ready to discover the game-changing secrets that can take you to the next level? Smash that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell, so you're always in the loop when we drop new videos. This isn't just fun, it's about unlocking your true power. You have a choice. Stay where you are or step up and become the best version of yourself. Now let's continue. How to recognize the source of shame. Let's start with something we often don't say out loud. Shame doesn't start with you. Most times, the shame you feel wasn't born inside of you, it was given to you. Handed down, passed along. Maybe not directly, but through the things people said or didn't say. Think about it. When was the first time you felt like you weren't enough? Who made you feel like you had to hide parts of yourself just to be accepted? Was it a parent who constantly compared you to your siblings? A teacher who made you feel slow or small? Classmates who laughed at the way you spoke, the way you looked, or the way you dressed? Maybe even strangers online who criticize you for simply being you? These experiences matter not because they define you, but because they explain where the shame began. And here's the truth. Shame is not a natural part of you. It was planted there by people, by systems, by the world. We live in a society that loves to set standards, then shame you for not meeting them. Social media tells you you're not pretty enough, rich enough, trendy enough. Family might say you're not successful enough, smart enough, obedient enough. Culture teaches you that being different means being wrong. Media makes you believe that perfection is a goal, and anything less is failure. But you were not created to be perfect. You were created to be real. You were born to be real, not perfect. Real means flawed. Real means trying. Real means growing. And real is beautiful. Let's talk about silence now, because shame grows in silence. When you don't talk about what you've been through, when you keep hiding your true self because you think you're too broken, too weird, too much, or not enough, the shame only gets louder. It starts whispering lies. You'll never be accepted. If they knew the real you, they'd walk away. You don't belong anywhere. But here's the light in all this darkness. Healing starts with awareness. The moment you realize that shame didn't start with you, you can finally stop blaming yourself. You can begin to say, wait, this feeling isn't mine. Someone gave this to me, but I don't have to keep carrying it. That's the beginning of freedom. It doesn't mean the pain goes away instantly, but it means you're no longer in the dark about why you felt the way you felt for so long. And that alone is powerful. Now ask yourself this. What are you carrying today that wasn't even yours to begin with? What expectations, insults, comparisons, or labels have been weighing down your heart? And what would happen if you gently started letting go of them? You see, the world might have told you to shrink, but now you get to decide to expand. You get to choose to heal, to speak, to show up as you truly are. So remember this, shame is not your identity. It's a reaction to a wound. But wounds heal especially when you stop hiding them and start giving yourself grace. You don't need to become someone else to be loved. You just need to come back home to yourself. Now I want you to think about your past, not the good parts, but the ones you try to forget, the scars, the regrets, the choices you made when you didn't know any better, the people you trusted who broke you, the versions of yourself you're not proud of. Here's the truth most people are too afraid to say out loud. We all have a past that hurts. Some of us carry emotional wounds. Some carry shame. Some of us walk around every day smiling on the outside while battling regrets, self-doubt, and pain on the inside. But you see, the purpose of your past was never to keep you stuck in shame. It was meant to shape you, to grow you, and to give your story power. Every scar, every flaw, every mistake is part of your story. Have you ever looked at a cracked wall and noticed how the light hits the crack differently? It shines through it. That's how your scars work. They're not signs of weakness. They're proof that you survived. That time you failed, but got back up. That heartbreak that didn't destroy you. That season when you doubted your worth, but kept going. You're not less valuable because of these things. If anything, you're more valuable. Why? Because you have depth. You've lived. You've fought battles. You've healed, and you're healing still. Hiding your past doesn't erase it. Owning it sets you free. You might think that if you pretend it didn't happen, it goes away. But it doesn't. The more you hide it, the more power it is over you. Shame grows in silence. But healing begins the moment you say, yes, that happened, but that's not where my story ends. You are not here to be perfect. You are here to be real. And people don't connect with perfection. They connect with honesty, with humanness, with the courage it takes to say, I've been through things and I'm still standing. That's powerful. That's healing. That's growth. You are not your trauma. You are not your failure. You are more. You are not what they did to you. You are not your worst decision. You are not defined by what broke you. Those things may have affected you, but they are not your identity. You are worthy. You are lovable. You are strong. Your past is a chapter, not the whole book. And the pages ahead are still being written. You still have time to be who you were meant to be. You are allowed to be both a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. You don't have to have it all figured out to be worthy of love, peace, or success. You don't need to fix everything about yourself to be valuable. You can be healing and still be whole. You can be learning and still be inspiring. You can be growing and still be deserving of joy. Stop waiting until you're perfect to start showing up fully as you. Because even now with your flaws, fears, and all, you are enough. What part of your story have you been hiding that you need to embrace with grace? Now pause for a moment and ask yourself something real. When did being different become something to be ashamed of? Was it the first time someone laughed at your accent? The first time they told you your dreams were too big? Or when you looked in the mirror and saw a version of yourself that didn't match what the world kept saying was beautiful? Whatever the moment was, I want you to know this: it wasn't the truth. It was a moment, a loud voice, a harsh opinion, but it wasn't your identity. Your accent, whether it rolls, breaks, or sings through words, is not a flaw. It's a reminder of where you come from. It carries the voices of your ancestors, your culture, your roots. Your skin tone, whether light, dark, or in between, is not something to lighten, hide, or explain. It's a tapestry of heritage. It tells a story. You are art walking. Your body size, whether tall, short, slim, thick, curvy, or athletic, is not a reason to shrink who you are. It's the house you live in. It carries your soul every day. It doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be loved. Your beliefs and values, even if they're unpopular, are not something to dilute just to be accepted. They reflect the depth of your soul and your journey. As long as you're not hurting others, your truth deserves space. Your dreams, no matter how wild or unconventional, are valid. The world might not see your vision yet, but that doesn't mean it's not real. Every great change in history started with someone who dared to dream differently. What makes you weird might make you legendary. We live in a world that tries to put people in boxes. You're too quiet. You're too loud. You're too emotional. You're too ambitious. You're too different. But here's the truth. The people who changed the world weren't the ones who fit, and they were the ones who stood out. The inventor who failed 1,000 times. The artist who was mocked. The speaker who stuttered. The girl who wore her natural hair even when everyone else straightened theirs. The boy who chose kindness when it wasn't cool. The same things they laughed at are now the things the world celebrates. Don't wait for validation. You are not too much. You are just enough. Let's talk about confidence. We've been taught to think it means walking into a room and being the loudest, boldest voice. But that's not always true. Sometimes confidence is being quiet and still, yet completely comfortable in your own skin. It's walking into a room and not needing to prove anything to anyone. It's wearing what you love. Say what you mean. Living in a way that's honest to you, even if no one claps. That kind of confidence doesn't scream, but it speaks volumes. Now, I want to ask you a question. Not for likes, not for comments, but for your own healing. What have you been apologizing for that you should actually be proud of? Think about it. Have you been saying sorry for your laughter, your voice, your ideas, your passion, your background? Today is the day to reclaim your difference, to stop apologizing, to start embracing. Because what makes you different might just be what makes you unforgettable. You don't owe anyone a watered-down version of yourself just to make them comfortable. Your job is not to fit in, it's to be fully, joyfully, wonderfully you. So the next time you feel the need to shrink yourself, I want you to remember this. You're not too different, you're perfectly original. Let the world adjust. Let's pause and think about this. Why do we sometimes feel like we're not doing enough? Like we're not where we're supposed to be? It's often because we're looking too much at others. You open your phone, scroll through Instagram or TikTok, and see someone younger than you buying a house, starting a business, getting married, or traveling the world. And suddenly your life feels small. You begin to think you're behind. But behind compared to who? The truth is, comparison is a thief. It quietly steals your joy, your confidence, and your peace. It whispers lies into your heart, making you feel less than others even though you are already enough. Run your own race. Imagine life as a race, but not like a sports competition. Your race is unique, designed only for you. Your pace is different. Your path is different. Your challenges are different. So how can you compare yourself with someone else whose race is completely different? Think about it. A mango tree and a coconut tree grow at different speeds. A fish and a bird can't be compared. They were created for different environments. You are not late. You are not early. You are right on time. Your timeline is not broken. You're simply in your own season, and every season has a purpose. Social media often shows people's highlight reels, not their behind the scenes. People only post their wins, not their struggles, not their tears, not the days they felt lost. You don't see the moments when they doubted themselves, when they failed, or when they were broke. So if you compare your real life to someone's filtered feed, you'll always feel like you're not enough. But that's not the truth. Here's a fact. You're doing better than you think. Don't let other people's success make you question your value. You are not behind in life just because someone else reached a milestone before you. Just because someone is shining doesn't mean you're in the dark. The sun and the moon shine at different times. Both are important. Here's a gentle reminder. You don't need to fit in when you were born to stand out. That means you don't have to dress like everyone else. You don't have to speak, walk, or think like everyone else. You don't need to follow someone else's plan just to feel accepted. Your uniqueness is your power. Your journey is yours alone. Respect it. Walk it proudly. Here are 5 simple things to help you stop comparing and start embracing your own journey. Be grateful for where you are. Look back, you've come a long way. Celebrate that. Set your own goals. Ask yourself, what do I want? Not what the world expects of me. Limit your screen time. Don't spend all day scrolling. Spend more time living. Cheer for others without losing your joy. Someone else's win is not your loss. Remember your worth. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You're already valuable. You are not falling behind. You are growing at your pace, in your time, and with your own purpose. So lift your head, walk tall, and run your own race with confidence. Because the truth is, there's no traffic on your lane when you stay in it. What does it mean to own your voice? To own your voice means to accept and express your true thoughts, feelings, values, and experiences without fear, without apology, and without changing them to please others. It doesn't mean being loud. It doesn't mean always being right. It simply means being honest, real, and present in your own truth. You don't need to sound like someone else. You don't need to fit into what the world expects. You just need to be you. Because your truth, no matter how quiet or different, is still powerful. Your story has value even if you think it's ordinary. That mistake you made, that pain you felt, that lesson you learned. Someone, somewhere, is going through something similar and needs to know they're not alone. Your story might be the comfort someone else needs to keep going. Maybe they won't comment or say, thank you, but your honesty might give them strength in silence. You don't have to be perfect to inspire people. You just have to be real. Your authenticity might be the light in someone else's darkness. There are people battling anxiety, low self-esteem, shame, and silence. And when you stand in your truth, you light a path for others to do the same. When you say, I've been there, someone feels seen. When you say, I struggle with this too, someone feels understood. When you say, I made it through, someone finds hope. Your honesty doesn't just help you heal. It helps others breathe. Speak even if your voice shakes. It's still your voice. You don't need to be bold to be brave. Even if you're scared, even if you're unsure, even if your voice trembles. Speak, share, stand. Because the first step to healing and confidence is using your voice anyway. And the more you speak, the stronger it becomes. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's a decision to show up despite it. Today, show up as you. No filters, no masks, just you, because that's more than enough. Take off the mask you wear to please people. Drop the filter you use to look good enough. Stop shrinking just to fit in. You are allowed to be seen. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to be you. And that version, the unfiltered, real version, is not just enough. It's exactly what the world needs. Speak your story. Own your truth, even if it's scary, even if you're still healing. Because someone out there needs your light. And even if you help just one person, that's more than enough. You don't have to be perfect to be powerful. You just have to be true. Your voice is more than just how you sound when you speak. It's your thoughts, your ideas, your stories, your experiences, all the things that make you you. No one can share your exact point of view because no one has walked in your shoes, not even for a second. So when you hold back or stay silent, the world misses out on something special. What have I been keeping quiet about that could help someone else if I shared it? Your vision is your dream, your way of seeing life, and what you believe is possible. It might not look like everyone else's, and that's a good thing. Maybe you want to be a singer, a teacher, a designer, a farmer, a doctor, or something no one has ever heard of before. Don't be afraid of that dream. You saw it for a reason. You were given that vision because it was meant for you, not anyone else. If the dream is in you, it's because it can also come through you. This is the deepest part of you, your kindness, your feelings, your heart, your values. It's the part of you that people feel when you walk into a room, even before you say anything. Your soul carries a light that only you have. Even if you've been through pain or made mistakes, your soul is still worthy. It's still enough. You don't need to be perfect to be valuable. You just need to be real. When you try to be someone else, you shrink your own beauty. You compare, you compete, you lose your joy because you're not living your truth. You weren't made to copy someone else's path. You were made to walk your own, even if it's different, even if it's slow, even if no one understands it yet. Now ask yourself this: am I living for other people's approval or for my own peace? You were born with something this world has never seen before. You are one of one, a masterpiece, a divine creation. Nobody else can replace you. Nobody else can do what you do the way you do it. So instead of hiding, instead of changing to fit in, stand tall in who you are. You don't need permission to be yourself. You already have the right to shine. If this message speaks to your heart, don't just scroll away. Take a second and drop in the comments. But also tell us, what is one thing you love about yourself? It could be your smile, your laugh, your honesty, your strength, your kindness, your style, anything. Because when you speak up about what you love in you, you give others the courage to love themselves too. Your presence matters. Your voice matters. Your story matters. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs the real you. So if you're ready to walk in confidence, to live free from shame, to show up every day as your real, raw, beautiful self, there is no one else on this earth with your voice, your vision, your soul. So why waste your life trying to be a copy when you were born an original? If this message speaks to you, comment and share one thing you love about yourself. Because here, you don't have to pretend. You're accepted. You're celebrated. You're enough, just as you are. And remember, never, ever be ashamed of who you are. The world needs the real you. Like, share, and subscribe if you're ready to walk in confidence and live without shame.